Cao Wei has arrived at the magical treasure world on the same plane. As a traveler with memories of my past life, I am sure to shine in this world. Why can't I beat them after they say some strange things like ties, friendship, and so on? Why am I crazy about eating flat food? Chapter 1. Elf World. Steady. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hot topic. The leader of the Neon Elf Alliance was actually shot dead. A fossil resembling an ancient fossil dragon has been discovered in Antarctica, and experts claim that this fossil can be used to revive Thunderbird Dragon. Shocked, it's so creepy to see what's happening under the skirt of the extremely giant Chanel. Looking at the news on his phone, due to being too excited, Cao Wei, who had been scrolling through his phone since waking up in the morning, emitted a classic three-part pig laugh. The world line deviated, and in the early century AD, Pokémon descended on this world. In this world, elves are a part of it, and the original Pokémon games and anime no longer exist. But at the same time, new games and anime emerged from the elf world. Have elves descended into the world? Thinking of the familiar Pokémon anime games and novels before the world line deviated, Cao Wei grabbed his hair that had not yet been washed, revealing a silly expression, and could vaguely see the small tongue in his throat. Maori Kagoro is of the same style. As long as you make good use of the familiar Pokémon battle style that deviates from the world line, you won't have to start with Long Outyen, the protagonist template blessing, the battle quacking and killing, marrying by Fume, and reaching the pinnacle of life. It feels great. I'm just the son. I didn't expect that Cao Wei would have had a bad luck all his life, and sometimes he would also have a day to run. Cao Wei thought happily. That's right, although there aren't any special flaws, our male lead's luck is very bad. Including but not limited to, the small guarantee for character lottery must be crooked. The card you want to draw will always sink to the bottom. A certain anchor missed the water cannon 3 times during the live broadcast. Isn't it magical? Our protagonist, the Sharp Stone, attacks the 4th consecutive miss. All skill points have been used up, and the opponent has not lost a drop of blood, and this kind of bad luck, which is as annoying as bubble gum stuck to pants, is also radiating around Cao Wei's side. Cao Wei's desk mate Chen Haruei has a deep understanding of this. Due to their relationship, the school organizes activities and the two are often grouped together. According to the recollection of the person involved, not only were the randomly obtained tools missing arms and legs, but even the door handles of the assigned rooms were broken. Cao Wei. That doorknob has already been touched by me, Cao Wei. It is obvious that Cao Wei currently does not have a sufficient understanding of his luck, and he is still immersed in his own fantasies. With a prompt sound on his WeChat phone, Cao Wei woke up from his dream. Today is the day for students to choose elves, which also represents that you have officially become trainers. I hope all students bring relevant forms, which will be the most important thing in your life. Just chattering as usual. Cao Wei was too lazy to flip through the hundreds of words of his essay. Cao Wei's mouth curled up, but now I'm different from before. Wait. It's different now. Cao Wei calmed down because he suddenly thought of a terrible thing. What would happen if I had traveled through time and been known by others? Cao Wei thought of a group of humanoid men in white coats in the laboratory, holding surgical knives and aiming them at him. What is 1000.7 equal to? Cao Wei broke out in a cold sweat and said, Nima, the soul piercing through doesn't actually have any memory of its original body. Isn't this easy to expose? This is too damn. But we can't care about that anymore. If we keep delaying like this, we won't be able to catch up with the new Elf Collection conference, and we must start quickly. Thinking of this, Cao Wei, who was about to cry, stood up and prepared to make a bowl of noodles before going to school. Due to his lust, there was no time for him to prepare breakfast, but a sudden ringing of his phone interrupted his journey. Hello. May I ask if this is Mr. Cao? We have your package. On the other end of the phone, the delivery guy's cheerful voice came into his ear. That's right, there are couriers in this world. Although there are also Pokémon couriers such as messenger birds, cuckoo pigeons, and others, their own breeding and transportation costs are high. Therefore, except for some difficult-to-transport locations or relatively valuable items, everything else is delivered by normal couriers with clear division of labor, and the industry of couriers has not disappeared. Well, it's Mr. Cao. You can leave it at the delivery point downstairs. I'll go down and pick it up later. Cao Wei anxiously replied, he doesn't have much time to delay anymore and must speed up. I'm sorry, this box is very large and the delivery point cannot accommodate it. Moreover, there may be some valuable items inside, so Mr. Cao, you'd better come down and pick it up now. Okay, I'll go down now, Cao Wei sighed lightly as he heard this. He closed the gas valve that had not been closed yet and walked downstairs, emitting a strong resentment. School friends may understand that during school, especially in high school, it is very uncomfortable to skip breakfast and spend the whole morning. However, Cao Wei, who is interrupted by a series of things, naturally does not feel very happy. Because he is going hungry this morning. I really want to know what is so important that it can match my good mood all morning. Cao Wei pulled a stinky face and arrived at the delivery point. So, where's my package? Cao Wei leaned aside, although unhappy, still had to face others kindly. The delivery guy looked strange and said to Cao Wei, that's the one you're leaning on. Hey! Cao Wei's height is not short, a whopping 1.81 meters, and this box alone reaches a height of 2 meters. So, do I need to move this box back by myself? Cao Wei said with a dark expression on his face. You don't have any door-to-door delivery service. The courier looked embarrassed and said, Strictly speaking, it should be like this. Because I have other packages here that need to be counted and processed, but I can still do it while I'm here to help you check for a while. Cao Wei looked at the huge box in front of him and greeted the sender's entire family in his heart. When Cao Wei got into the school taxi, his face was already relaxed, and he even took out his phone to search for information about the world. The box looks big but not heavy. It should be shockproof, made of foam, but the volume is there. It takes a lot of time to move. But what does that have to do with me? It's too late, it's too late. Along the way, the scallion duck pancake shop, with one scallion duck shedding tears every time it's eaten, Mother Monster Power Gym, not flashy, I won't even go, Nito Wong Love Hotel, Lolaton. Bastard. Everything seems so unfamiliar, yet very familiar. Is it the world of Pokémon? This one is absolutely stable. I must shine in this world. My goal is to become a Pokémon master. Chapter 2. Expensive Pokémon Ball. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the way to the taxi, Cao Wei is checking the information while pulling deep. Fried dough sticks. There's not much room left, and there's nothing I, as a time traveler, can do to create problems. Cao Wei said with a hint of disappointment. Due to the fact that people had been fighting alongside Pokémon as early as the beginning of the century AD. What Cao Wei knows, others also know. What Cao Wei doesn't know, others know much better than him. Except for a few Pokémon and most mythical beasts, all other Pokémon have been thoroughly studied, but information about mythical beasts cannot be easily disclosed. Even tactics and the like were popularized by a man surnamed Lu decades ago. Grandma, I really don't leave any room for future generations to survive. Cao Wei is a bit pessimistic. In the past few hours, he has gained a basic understanding of the cultivation and combat of Pokémon in this world. A Pokémon ball alone costs between 1,000 to 30,000 yuan, and even more advanced ones are priceless. Plus, there are various cultivation materials. It's done. How can this make Pokémon stronger? Cao Wei felt the darkness before him and almost fell asleep. This effect is much better than the strange light, and it is particularly effective for people at the bottom of the economy. The most profitable industry in this world is undoubtedly professional elf trainers. Of course, it must be those who are relatively powerful. The threshold for elf trainers is low, and many students who graduate from university or even high school are already junior elf trainers. However, the selection process is also very strict. Hundreds of junior trainers participated in the assessment of intermediate trainers, of which 10 were already considered the majority. Among the hundreds, even one had no past experience, which is not without experience. Only outstanding trainers can pass this layer-by-layer selection. And an excellent elf trainer must also have very powerful elves, and to make elves strong, it is necessary to cultivate them with a large amount of money and materials, which in turn requires a lot of money. The best way to make money is to become an elf trainer, and an excellent elf trainer. If Cao Wei was just disappointed earlier, then now it is already despair. Damn it, what does this world think? If we do this, the common people will almost never have a way out. Cao Wei said frantically. Becoming a trainer is impossible. Only by leading the Pokémon to work together can we barely make ends meet. No, 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 no. Thinking of this, Cao Wei shook his head suddenly. Even though I have already arrived at the world of Pokémon, I still need to make a career out of it. Otherwise, how can I face the seniors of the Trekker army? But the question is, what should we do? Cao Wei was lost in deep thought. When disturbed, people tend to want to look at something else to divert their attention, while most modern people will look at their phones. Even if there is nothing valuable on them, they will keep flipping through them. However, at this time, Cao Wei did receive a message on WeChat. Hello. Viagra. Where have you been? This school has already taken out all the Pokémon balls for people to pick. Come quickly. If you arrive late, you will only be able to get the green caterpillar. If you spend 50,000 yuan on Pokémon collection fees, you will be in vain. A hurried conversation came over the phone, and the person who came was Cao Wei's desk mate and also his close friend Chen Haruei, who had been wearing pants since childhood. Has it already started? Isn't it time yet? Cao Wei exclaimed in surprise. I heard that a big shot has arrived at the school. In order to prevent him from waiting too long and to demonstrate his strong teaching staff, he deliberately changed the time. Speaking of Viagra, when will you arrive? My elves have already been taken. I'll go. You kids started quite quickly. Hey wait, didn't you choose the school elf? Cao Wei asked in confusion. The procedures for collecting elves at school require a lot of effort, and students have to queue up to handle them. It's still until noon, and Chen Haruei's progress is noticeably faster. Chen Haruei scratched his head and said, the handling fee for the Pokémon collected from school is too expensive, which is a whopping 50,000 yuan. My family didn't think it was necessary, so they took me directly to the mountains to catch one. Ah, that's really good. What kind of Pokémon? Can I take a look? Cao Wei showed a strong interest. After all, this was the first time he saw people around him owning Pokémon. There's not much to look at, it's quite ordinary. Chen Haruei's facial muscles picked and it seemed a bit difficult to speak. By the way, when will you arrive for Viagra? If you're picking the initial Pokémon, I'll join you too. Chen Haruei immediately changed the topic and asked in response. Am I? I think it's almost too late. Before the words could be finished, there was only a loud bang when a thrust came from the back of the taxi, causing it to suddenly shake. Cao Wei's phone almost fell to the ground. Cao Wei turned back with a chill and noticed a sedan colliding with the rear end. The driver also turned around with a friendly tone and said, "Little brother, I'm sorry. I won't charge you for this order. You can take another car." While the taxi and sedan owners were engaged in verbal altercations, Cao Wei was already standing in confusion in the middle of the road. On the other end of his phone, Chen Haruei's voice came from Viagra. Don't come, Pokémon has finished receiving it. I can only go to the teacher to refund the money and catch one myself. At the other end of the video, Chenharuo looked at Cao Wei with lifeless eyes and said, Viagra. Don't be too sad, after all, this kind of thing. It's not the first time, we need to adapt. How did you say that? Oh yes. Adapt to the times, we can survive. It's okay, I just want to be quiet, Cao Wei said before hanging up the phone, feeling messy in the wind. Chenharuo looked at the hung-up phone and twitched at the corner of his mouth. Viagra's strength is not inferior to back then. If you don't wash your hands tonight, you won't be able to draw characters. Forget it, I'll go talk to the teacher about his situation first. If Viagra doesn't catch a Pokemon in the future, I feel like I can't suppress this evil energy. Chapter 3. Fire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 4. Encounter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Cao Wei looked at the house with thick smoke rolling in front of him, and then at the fire brigade that had not yet arrived. In fact, many fire brigades do not directly extinguish the fire, but first suppress the fire to prevent it from spreading, because the center of the fire is likely to have nothing to save. Even some irresponsible individuals only suppress the spread of the fire, leaving the central area unchecked and letting it burn recklessly. Because there are no items to ignite in the central area, the flames will also extinguish on their own after a period of time. But not now, absolutely not until that time. Cao Wei's heart flashed with a hint of determination. The elf egg is still in the room, and the unborn little life is still in the room. The fire is still spreading, and the scattered dust and thick smoke are making many people cough continuously. To make a decision, it must be now. If we drag on any longer, we won't have a chance. Cao Wei gritted his teeth and casually took out 2 bottles of water from the roadside vendor's stall, dripped them on his clothes, and then rushed towards the fire. Sorry, I'll borrow it, I'll pay it back. Cao Wei rushed in directly, and the training family next to him who was directing the fire fighting were all dumbfounded. They thought this person was so brave, so they all followed suit and showed their skills. Swimming circle weasel, put in more effort. Use the wave of water, commanded a young man wearing glasses. BB, the swimming circle weasel gathered its hands and condensed into a deep blue water ball, throwing it out. Oh. That young man is full of energy. Since that's the case, I absolutely can't neglect him, said an old man with a very strong physique. He then looked at his partner next to him, all right. We need to put in some energy too. Great crocodile. Use a water cannon. The clear water condensed into a thick column of water and sprayed out from the mouth of the blue crocodile, and the fire on the scene showed no signs of spreading in an instant. Well done, powerful crocodile. The old man smiled with relief. Powerful crocodile. Powerful crocodile raised its chin in response. In the fire scene, due to a water cannon, the intensity of the fire decreased significantly. Cao Wei braved thick smoke and high temperatures and arrived in front of his house. The anti-theft door had been burned to the point of deformation, and theoretically, it could not be opened directly without a pry bar. In a fit of desperation, Cao Wei kicked the iron gate fiercely, and the gate burst in response. Cao Wei looked at his own feet in confusion, then stomped hard, confirming that it was his own feet. Without a doubt, he said, when did I feel so strong? Without much time to think, Cao Wei rushed into the living room. Although most of the items were burned, fortunately the box was not damaged too much. Cao Wei inspected it and found that there were only 2 iron boxes and shock-absorbing foam pads, but nothing else. Where's the egg? Am I spicy? Where's the big elf egg? Cao Wei was a bit panicked and looked around. I saw a hole at the bottom of the cardboard box, and the hole was facing towards Cao Wei's bedroom. At this moment, there were several sounds of objects falling from the bedroom. It seems that it has already hatched. Cao Wei tiptoed towards the bedroom, holding the iron box and gently gripping the door handle, fearing to scare the creatures inside and disturb this beautiful first encounter. The bedroom door won't open either, *M, that's enough. Cao Wei kicked open the bedroom door with another flying kick. A little cat was staring at Cao Wei with its semicircular orange-yellow eyes, with dark fur all over its body, red stripes on its face and limbs, and 2 strands of red beard shaking from time to time, spreading scorching sparks. Fire spotted meow. So it's you. Cao Wei also noticed the little creature in front of him. The semi-circular eyes of the fire-spotted meow kept staring at Cao Wei, making him feel a bit uncomfortable. So, in a precarious situation, Cao Wei met fire-spotted meow with a fateful fate. Meow. Fire-spotted meow raised its head and called out to Cao Wei, his eyes reflecting the brightly lit house. Do you want to follow me? Cao Wei Xuan asked. Meow. The fire-spotted meow arrogantly twisted its head to one side, but its red-striped front paws leaned forward, indicating that it was saying something. Nonsense, Lousy's characteristics are not like igniting a fire. Ha. It seems like we still need to spend some more time together. Cao Wei smiled and then opened an iron box marked with a Pokémon ball and skill disc. Although the scene of meeting may differ from what we imagined, Cao Wei took out a red and white Pokéball and pressed the button in the middle, causing the Pokéball to grow larger. Although it was our first encounter, you didn't trust me very much. Cao Wei placed the Pokémon ball in front of the fire-spotted meow. But I still hope that you can become my first partner and walk side by side with me. Cao Wei's eyes also shone brightly. The fire-spotted meow extended its paw and patted the Pokémon ball. Bang! The Pokémon ball responded and turned the fire-spotted meow into a beam of red light. After shaking it 3 times, there was no movement. Fire-spotted meow. Gate days, Cao Wei suppressed his inner joy and looked around, noticing the scrapped skill learning device on the ground. Although it had been burned by flames, the word phosphorus fire could still be vaguely seen on it. It seems that this little guy started causing damage from birth and accidentally used the learning device of phosphorus fire. After being scared, he used his power recklessly to cause this fire, right? Cao Wei pondered the situation at the scene and murmured, will the killing power of phosphorus fire be so high? But then an explosion interrupted his thinking. Cao Wei no longer hesitated, picked up the Pokémon ball and rushed out of the sea of fire. At the same time, the fire brigade arrived at the scene late. A man with a beard began to command, and several Johnny Turtles and a steel cannon-armed shrimp jumped down neatly, with clear division of labor to start extinguishing the fire. But Cao Wei, who had escaped from life, suddenly felt a wave of exhaustion. Damn it, I thought my physique had strengthened a bit. As Cao Wei was feeling dizzy, he kept this question in his heart and passed out. Chapter 5. Flying to the Sky, Me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Cao Wei opened his eyes and stared at the ceiling. The unfamiliar ceiling. Cao Wei sat up and found himself sitting on the hospital bed. He shook his hands and felt full of strength. It's not an illusion, my physical fitness has indeed improved, and it's not just a little bit stronger. Ding. System activation successful. Binding host. This system is activated when the host harvests the first Pokémon. When activated, it will reset all the conditions of the host's body, allowing the host to better experience this system. Host name. Cao Wei. What's going on? I'm feeling dizzy. Suddenly, blue subtitles appeared in front of Cao Wei, similar to the bulletin board in online games. Host already has the ability. None, additional system features. None, you have a new employee reward, please check it out. A gift box tied with a red tie danced in front of Cao Wei, somewhat like a winning prize in the evening. So. Is this my golden finger? Isn't this about taking off directly? Cao Wei looked at the virtual screen in front of him, feeling a bit excited and reached out to touch the gift box. The gift box immediately exploded, and the golden light flickered. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the ability Eye of Information. This skill allows the host to view the current status of the Pokémon. Oh. What do you mean? Can you show me that my Pokémon isn't poisoned? Cao Wei was puzzled and lowered his head to look at his hospital bed, unleashing the power of the Eye of Information. Failed to use. Please use this ability according to the usage method, System Task Trigger. Task Name. Ordinary people in summer camp, task content. During the summer camp, you have to lose at least 3 matches against people. Ha! You still need to lose. Does that mean I have to play fake matches? This system does not recognize task fraud. The host must be defeated with all their might to complete the task. Wipe it. Who would want to lose? What kind of broken system are you? The name of this system is Ordinary System, which is a manifestation of the former host's wish to become an ordinary person. Once this system is bound, it is not refundable or exchangeable. We hope the host can understand. Transfer. This system is very user-friendly. I hope the host does not show dissatisfaction and should smile more. Wipe it. You even sent me to play fake matches. Are you still making me laugh? Re-explain, this system does not accept task fraud. The host must be defeated after exerting all their strength in order to receive task rewards. What if it's a competition or something? The kind I have to win, do I still have to lose? This system only calculates the number of wins and losses, without considering the nature of the competition. The host can perform tasks in both regular and informal competitions, all at the discretion of the host. Sing. Fortunately, I didn't ask which game I had to lose, but even if it's a rule, it's not a big deal. I don't believe that a third-rate system with a fourth-rate task can make me lose the game. Cao Wei snorted lightly, expressing his disdain for the system. Meow. Just as Cao Wei was gesturing towards the air, a dissatisfied cry came from beside him. A black ball of fur by the pillow stretched its limbs, opened its orange and half-round eyes, and stared at Cao Wei with a resentful expression, as if complaining about why he disturbed his rest. Hey! So you're here, I thought you would hide far away. Cao Wei saw Huaban Miao lying next to him, grinning and casually masturbating. Immediately, it aroused the displeasure of the fire-spotted Miao. The little paw reached out and patted Cao Wei's dog Paw Wei, while also turning his body to one side. Cao Wei opened the Eye of Information to the fire-spotted Miao. Pokémon. Fire-spotted Miao, gender. Male, height. 0.4 meters weight. 4.3 kilograms, feature. Fierce fire hidden feature. Threatening, learned skills. Grab, cry, phosphorus fire, current mood. Quite pleasant, this thing is quite impressive, you can even tell your mood. Host's first use of this system activates a new feature. Lottery. Cao looked at the virtual interface box in mid-air and reached out to click in. This lottery system will use crystal stones to exchange for the number of lucky draws, once per crystal. Considering that the host is using this lottery system for the first time, they can experience 10 lucky draws first. Is this the meaning of giving away 10 combos when you go online? But how do you get crystals? Use the system to automatically send a crystal every day. After the task is successful, distribute the crystal according to the level of task execution. The lottery system has been set up, and the probability formula is 90 draws will definitely win the 5-star and 5th grade, and 180 draws will definitely win the current popular items in the pool. Draw popular items in the current pool, refresh critical rate. Why is this lottery system so familiar to Nima? OP fruit milk, isn't it? Is this considered plagiarism? Cao Wei grumbled, not just how to spit it out. Forget it, it doesn't feel bad. Then I'll start with a 10 in a row skyrocket. The lottery interface is a purple magic crystal, and after clicking on the lottery, 10 crystal stones suddenly appear in mid-air. 10 crystals transformed into light and penetrated the interior of the crystal ball. The purple crystal spun rapidly and emitted 10 rays of light into the sky, causing a sea of clouds to surge in the sky. 10 beams of light fell rapidly and turned into 10 light sources arranged in sequence in front of Cao Wei. Wow, it's really spectacular. Did you spend all your money on special effects? Cao Wei looked surprised and joked as he clicked on the light source arranged in front of him. This thing looks like a headlight bubble, I don't know how to turn it on. The light source in front of me suddenly flickered, seemingly responding to Cao Wei's sudden burst of brilliant blue light, yellow fragment. It is said that some collectors really enjoy collecting this. Transfer, there's nothing, why are you turning on the brightness so high? The second one, keep driving. Blue fragment. It is said that some collectors really enjoy collecting this. The third one, continue. Red fragments. It is said that some collectors really enjoy collecting this. Cao Wei. You're playing with me in the dog system, damn it. Chapter 6. Good fortune comes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Cao Wei's expression gradually became rare after drawing 3 rare fragments in a row. System, why did you come out for me? Did you do this? You deliberately didn't let me come out with something good, did you? This system is different from the lottery system of unscrupulous merchants. Compared to those merchants who know you want it and they also hope you want it, and can easily give it, but just want to see how you beg them before they give it, the success rate of this system is actually high, not to mention anything else. You were just driving, right? The system has a success rate, with a probability of 0.6% for withdrawals without a minimum guarantee, and a comprehensive probability of 1.6% for withdrawals with a minimum guarantee. It is absolutely fair and just that every 10 consecutive withdrawals will be fair and impartial. Okay, I'll trust you once. In fact, Cao Wei knew that this couldn't rely on the system. He was born as a non-chieftain and couldn't afford to buy a plane ticket to Europe. Keep going. Green fragments. It is said that some collectors really enjoy collecting this. When the next light source was turned on, a brilliant purple light suddenly burst out. Oh. Are we going to ship now? Cao Wei was very excited. Star fragments. Very rare fragments, shining red and very beautiful, said to be able to sell high value in stores. Too much, isn't it? 5 complete features in a row are fragments. Is your system only capable of drawing fragments? Cao Wei shouted angrily as the 5 fragments floated up and down in mid-air, seemingly mocking Cao Wei silently. Almost all props in the elf world can be obtained in this system, and what is obtained depends on luck. Host, please do not doubt the fairness of this system. Wow. I don't believe it anymore, it's all on. Cao Wei pouted and directly turned on all the remaining light sources. This time it's no longer a scrap metal, wishing star fragments. Throw several into Pokémon's lair, there may be a super giant Pokémon appearing, Nima. Although she's a bit better, she's not much better either. Good medicine, hey, this is not bad. Blue glass whistle, I remember this seems to be able to relieve sleep, okay, at least it's more useful than fragments. Peach fruit. Sweet and delicious, can treat Yubao Kameng poisoning, although it's not a fragment anymore, I'm happy, but the above doesn't seem to be of much use. I don't know if the last draw will surprise me. Cao Wei said with some dissatisfaction as he took a bite of the peach fruit. After speaking, Cao Wei reached out and pointed at the purple light source. Come on. Let's see if we can unleash it into our souls. Cao Wei said excitedly. As the light source dissipates, the items inside also fall out. Poisonous pearl. A magical pearl that releases poison upon touch. When carried, it will become highly toxic during battles. Cao Wei held this highly poisonous pearl and looked at the introduction, saying, "Oh. A magical bead that will release poison when touched." Cao Wei's facial features instantly crowded together. Nima. Why? Produced by the system, it must be a masterpiece. All items in this system cannot harm the host, please rest assured. Oh. Really? Then take it for a while longer. Cao Wei was also new to this kind of thing and had never seen it before. After speaking, he began to study it with the highly poisonous pearl. You're already awake. A little nurse passing by with a medicine tray noticed Cao Wei playing with the highly poisonous pearl. "I'll go find your family," the little nurse said and left. After a while, Cao Wei's parents and Chen Haorui arrived at the ward. Cao Wei's mother is a very virtuous and gentle woman. She wanted to pick up the fire-spotted meow, but was proudly avoided by the fire-spotted meow and then jumped onto Cao Wei's bed. "Cao Wei. You scared us this time. No matter what, you can't just run straight into the fire." Cao Wei's mother scolded. I'm sorry Mom, I made you worry." "It won't be like this again next time," Cao Wei replied while teasing Huoban Meow. The fire-spotted meow didn't want to be played with by Cao Wei. Every time Cao Wei reached out to it, he would dodge to the other side. This little guy was just born today, and he didn't expect his energy to be extremely good. He also learned the powerful ghost fire. It seems that the house caught fire because he accidentally caused it while training ghost fire. Cao Wei's father said, "It seems that you have gained a partner with extraordinary talent." Cao Wei's father continued, "And our losses are not significant because we have Pokémon insurance at home, so we don't need to pay too much compensation." Pokémon insurance refers to the insurance that can be paid for by a family-owned Pokémon in case of unintentional damage in certain circumstances. But in this world, can this kind of insurance really make money? Cao Wei expressed doubts about this. What about the house? Where do we live during this time? Cao Wei asked again. After all, his companion Meow is now his initial companion, and he also wants to take some responsibility. "No problem at all, only your house was completely damaged by the fire." Cao Wei's father gave a thumbs up and smiled calmly. Isn't that very bad? But our house is not in any big trouble. And the wedding anniversary photos are still there, which is really great." Cao Wei's father was very satisfied with the result, and then looked at his phone again. "Oh you. It's already afternoon, your mother and I have to go back to the office, and there's nothing serious about you here. There's still a lot of work to do in the office." After that, the couple ran straight to the door. "Oh, by the way, this time is really not good. You can stay in our room," Cao Wei's father added, casually leaving. "Goodbye son. Remember to miss us." Cao Wei's mother looked very open and blinked at him before leaving Cao Wei and Huoban Miao looking at each other. These two people are specifically here to entertain me, right? Cao Wei casually picked up the fire-spotted meow. "It seems that I can't leave you alone at home in the future, the loss is a bit big." Chapter 7. Has decided it's you. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Although it was a bit troublesome, I finally got home. Cao Wei lay on the bed in his parents' room and turned on the system. Sure enough, I gave a crystal stone as a gift. Should I draw it directly or accumulate it for 10 consecutive times? After thinking for a while, Cao Wei decided to save up 1 hair and 10 more, but the most important thing now is about the summer camp. That's right, Cao Wei's parents had already registered him during his hospitalization, so the system only released tasks about the summer camp. The task requirement is to fail 3 times with all one's might, and the deadline is the end of the summer camp. Although there will be rewards even if you don't lose the battle, doing so is unlikely to bring good things. But I don't want to lose the battle. This is my first opportunity to showcase my skills in this world. As a high school soul, he naturally has the wild hope of a high school student, that kind of arrogant fantasy. Cao Wei was a bit distressed, but when he looked up, he saw 2 iron boxes placed on the table, which contained supplements for cultivating and laying the foundation for the fire-spotted meow. Cao Wei opened both boxes and the items inside caught his eye. The box on the left is a sprite ball and 2 skill discs, while the box on the right is some tree fruits and 2 USB drives. What the hell is this? Cao Wei took out the USB drive, and the dry black packaging was clearly different from the colorful skill discs. This was just an ordinary USB drive. Cao Wei inserted a USB drive into the computer, which contained 2 files. Cultivation method of fire elves, training methods for onshore Pokémon. It covers various types of Pokémon, with a staggering amount of knowledge. It took Cao Wei half a day to flip through the article on fire-spotted meow. The entire document analyzes and explains the habits, cultivation, growth, and evolution of the fire-spotted meow. While summarizing them all, it is also easy to understand and seems to have deliberately used some less complex academic terms. Lava worm, Spitfire camel, Demo baboon, most of the same type of fire system are all included here, and there is even an explanation of the rare grass and fire dual attributes of Pokémon, such as Spitfire chili. The document introducing the onshore group even recorded the methods of exercising physical fitness on it. Oh. This thing is a bit high-end, what kind of person is Dad's friend? Cao Wei browsed through the contents of 2 files, marveling at the author's ability while organizing and summarizing the content. I feel like it seems to work. Let's give it a try tonight. Half an hour later, Cao Wei finally summarized a training plan, printed it out, and brought it to the community. Come on. It's up to you. Fire-spotted meow. Cao Wei shouted out that classic line, and fire-spotted meow jumped out of the Pokéball. That's right, this is the normal unfolding of Pokémon. First of all, considering that you have just been born, even if you are very talented, the training plan can only be carried out in the simplest way, otherwise your body may not be able to bear it. But it's okay, I will work hard with you. That's right, the classic PUA technique called sandwich talk first suppresses it to the point of being useless, and then draws a big cake to comfort it, in order to achieve the goal of being obedient to oneself in the end. Cao Wei is very optimistic about his plan. After all, how did the newly born and inexperienced fire-spotted meow understand this? Although Huoban Meow usually listens to Cao Wei's words, Cao Wei has always felt that Huoban Meow has some other opinions about himself. The fire-spotted meow is not very close to Cao Wei, which is very unusual for a Pokémon who has just been born less than 24 hours ago. It easily learns ghost fire and does not feel intimidated when facing the sky full of flames. Its eyes towards people and things are also different, as if it is looking at everyone, but it seems to have rejected everyone. Cao Wei was very afraid that the fire-spotted meow might think he was not qualified enough. There has been a plot in the animation where Xiaoji's Spitfire Dragon believes that Xiaoji is not qualified to command it, and therefore has been disobedient. Thinking of this, Cao Wei inserted a steel bar as thick as a thumb into the ground. Since coming to this world, Cao Wei's physique has been changing every hour, even every minute. The white-faced young man who used to struggle with pulling a cable has now become a white-faced big man who can pull a bundle of cables. Then let's first contact Spark. Come on, face this steel bar, condense the power in your throat, and then spray it out. Cao Wei followed the description in the cultivation plan and then added, it's okay if we can't use it. We have a whole day, after all, practicing moves still has some difficulties. Before he could finish speaking, 5 or 6 pale purple flames appeared around the fire-spotted meow, constantly spinning and floating, as if aiming. Meow. With a command from Huoban Meow, several flames were instantly emitted, hitting the steel bar that Cao Wei Gang had just inserted there. The thumb-thick steel bar instantly turned into hot molten iron under the scorching heat of the ghostly fire. Braving hot air, he trickled down the lower half of the steel bar. It can be said that it will explode at a second glance, and melt even closer. Meow, Huoban Meow raised his head and stood up, ready to leave, but was stopped by Cao Wei. Hey, wait a minute, I know you can use ghost fire, but after all, it's a mutable skill, and you still lack aggressive moves. Before Cao Wei could finish speaking, he saw the fire-spotted Meow gathering its fire attribute energy into its body. Then, with a blazing flame in its mouth, it shook its head and sprayed the flames out. Ha! A cluster of sparks flew directly over and landed on the steps behind Cao Wei, instantly burning out a large black patch. I already know. You're still excellent. Cao Wei turned around and found that the fire-spotted Meow had found a clean space. He bent down and buried his head in the small pit made of his paws. Well, you are the final say. Cao Wei knew that his training plan for today must be broken. Reason for plan failure. Underestimating students' basic abilities and talents. Cao Wei copied the summary onto the plan book, and he suddenly had a premonition. Wait, I won't write down all the reasons and experiences for the failure of the plan in this book in the future, will I? Training Plan X Trainer Education Record. Chapter 8. Fighting Inside the Taoist Museum. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 4 days ago, a Daoguan in K City, Shandong Province. Dead old man, come out of here. I know you're still alive. A man wearing a black windbreaker kicked open the entrance of the dojo. The tall and slender figure of a man is like an eagle in the dark. Cold, aloof, yet imposing, exudes a strong sense of arrogance towards heaven and earth. After a while, there was still no response inside the museum. Tisk. Pretend to be dead, right? The man disdained and immediately took out a yellow high-end ball from his pocket. Giant gold monster, get me on it. Bang. The advanced ball responded and a white light flashed, from which a huge blue figure appeared. 4 giant claws hit the ground, emitting a terrifying buzzing sound. Kong Jin. The massive golden monster stood on top of the conduit field, and after looking around, its gaze was fixed on the passage leading to the inner chamber of the hall. Giant charcoal, a sound that seemed to be a warning came from the passage, and then a 3-meter-tall Pokémon, covered in rocks and topped with a lot of coal, appeared in front of the passage. Coal Pokémon. Giant Charcoal Mountain. Oh. Giant Charcoal Mountain. The man in the black windbreaker gave a faint smile and said. I won't bully your younger generation anymore, giant gold monster. You can go up and move on your own. Kong Jin, 4 huge iron fists quickly turned and closed, aiming straight ahead at the giant charcoal mountain. They then scattered a light like brilliant stardust, like an invincible chariot charging towards the giant charcoal mountain. Its Comet Fist. At the same time, a coquettish sound came from within the passage. Giant Charcoal Mountain, use and defend. Giant Charcoal. The emerald green barrier unfolds, forming a semi-circular protective cover, firmly covering the massive body of Giant Charcoal Mountain inside. Kong Jin. The giant golden monster's iron fist slammed fiercely against the barrier, causing a violent vibration. Humph, but that's it. The people in the channel seemed a bit proud, their tone becoming frivolous. I also learned a trick to hold on, that's a good idea, isn't it? The man in the windbreaker smiled slightly and praised, but then said, it's okay to face ordinary elves, but it's far from me. Giant gold monster. Show me some of your true skills, don't let the little girl underestimate us. Kong Jin. The giant gold monster let out a low roar, scattering a powerful wave of mental power like a computer brain. Causing a drop of magma to flow from the giant charcoal mountain standing in front of them, struggling to support themselves. The wave of spiritual strength spread out, but it did not affect the body of giant charcoal mountain. Instead, it attached this powerful power to the 4 iron fists, and at the same time, the 4 iron arms exerted force again, emitting even more dazzling starlight. Giant Charcoal. In the frightened gaze of Giant Charcoal Mountain, the body of the giant gold monster, along with the iron fist with infinite power, began to rotate. The originally elliptical impact wave formed a dazzling spiral drill bit, converging the power of the comet fist at a central point. The emerald green barrier instantly disintegrated, and the comet fist fiercely hit the body of Giant Charcoal Mountain, causing it to collide with the wall next to the passage. Giant Charcoal Mountain. The people in the passage were no longer hiding, and an anxious emotional shadow ran out, looking into the deep smoke rising due to the destruction caused by the immense force. The girl is wearing a blue long dress, a short shirt, and a single ponytail, giving a very shrewd and capable feeling. The man in the windbreaker looked at the girl running out and was a bit puzzled. "Hey, wait a minute, old man. When did we recruit female students?" "All right. Xiao Wan, take back the Giant Charcoal Mountain. It's too early for you to fight him." An old man wearing punk glasses slowly walked out of the passage, with a bright head, wearing a black suit, lined with a white shirt, and a black tie, emitting an unfathomable aura. This design can definitely be used as a Yanko in Italy. The old man looked deep into the thick smoke and said after a while. "Elegance. It's so elegant. I didn't expect your giant golden monster to be so powerful after just a few years of cultivation, Cao Xiang." The old man's sunglasses reflected back and said, "Now. At least you have Heavenly King level strength, right?" Heavenly King level. Qin Xiaozhuan's pupils slightly contracted, and she turned to look deep into the thick smoke. The bodies of the two Pokémon had gradually appeared. The giant golden monster used its psychic power to blow away the dust around it, slowly drifting back behind Cao Xiang. And the Giant Charcoal Mountain has deeply sunk into the ground. Under the attack of Comet Fist, it has become a state of more exhalation and less intake. Giant Charcoal. ABA, just one move. Qin Xiaowan was surprised. Qin Xiaowan is a bit worried today. Her master insisted that she come to the Daoguan today, saying that it was to show her the true strength, which led to her having to postpone these 2 days of classes and run to the distant city of K in Shandong province to meet her master. How strong can she be? Qin Xiaowan arrived at the Taoist temple with confidence and confusion. As a high-achieving student at the newly elected Imperial University, he is known as a genius trainer. Since her encounter with elves, she has almost never suffered a single defeat. People of the same age, or even several grades higher than her, are not her opponents in elf battles. Even the department head narrowly won the battle against her. At that time, she only had a large charcoal cart in her hands, and now the evolved Giant Charcoal Mountain has no reason to lose to the original department head. In this state, Qin Xiaozhuan's statement that she doesn't float is a bit false. However, as she rushed to the dojo, her master told her that it was just because someone came to challenge the dojo today and wanted her to have a battle. The Explosive Flame Taoist Hall in Shandong province is one of the Taoist halls in China. In the autumn of each year, from the beginning to the end of the summer of the following year, as long as you can collect all 8 badges, you can participate in the Huaxia League competition that year. In this fierce competition, as one of the 8 Taoist halls, the Explosive Flame Taoist Hall will naturally not be weak. In this situation, surprisingly, there will still be people coming to challenge the hall. But now she understands that the man in front of her definitely has this ability. But she is very unwilling. With just one move, he completely destroyed his long-standing confidence and pride. This man is definitely not easy. Chapter 9. Cao Xiang. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Explosive Flame Taoist Hall in Shandong Province is a Taoist hall that specializes in fire. The owner of the hall is named Zhou Duong, and it is said that he has extremely powerful fire-type elves in his hands. Even the owner himself has a passionate and powerful personality. But Cao Xiang clearly didn't accept this trick, and when he came up, he cursed, "Don't be so careless with me, old man. This is useless to me. After saying that, he took out the Pokémon ball and aimed the giant gold monster back. The huge giant gold monster turned into a beam of red light and returned to the ball. Without further ado, I'll just say one sentence. Will you give that egg? Cao Xiang asked impatiently. A while ago, Zhou Duong accidentally got an egg of a Pokémon while traveling abroad. It is said that it was born to his fiery beast and a Pokémon. He treats this egg like a treasure. Don't even think about it. The old man cursed hard. If you ask me to give that egg to you, Cao Xiang, then I didn't say anything, and you deserve it. Cao Xiang did have this ability in Zhou Duong's eyes, and he also admired it, but then Zhou Duong changed his tone. But if you want to give my eggs as a gift to a little kid, don't even think about it. If it weren't for the fact that I've worked with you before, I would have kicked you out long ago. After speaking, the old man took out the Pokémon ball from his pocket, apparently ready to see off the guests. Hey hey hey. Don't talk so hard, maybe there will be a turning point. Cao Xiang shrugged in his ear. I must take that egg with me today. You've been away from our headquarters for too long, and you may have forgotten my style, so. Even if it's a robbery today, I'll grab it. Cao Xiang's gaze fixed, and the elf ball in his hand grew larger again, his eyes burning with flames. Zhou Duong looked at Cao Xiang's actions and his face changed. He couldn't understand and said, "Who is worth it for you to do this? What's special about that child? I owe him a little now, and it's none of my business to pay him back." He's not going to do anything about it in the future, Cao Xiang replied calmly. So. Can we still fight or not? If not, I'll take that egg with me. Hee hee. The old man was already laughing at Cao Xiang's mature self. Son of a bitch. I should have beaten you up a little more when I could have beaten you before. Now I come here every day to make ends meet, and I can really make ends meet. Zhou Duong cursed inwardly. Get out of here. I will personally deliver the elf's eggs. Xiaowan. Ah, the girl quickly replied. I'll give you an address later, and you can help me send something. Put the little information in my computer, and the packaging should be a bit rudimentary. This way, you shouldn't use Pokémon mail and you can save some money. Master, the funds approved by the Alliance for our Taoist temple over the past year are sufficient for us to use Pokémon mail, Chen Xiaowan reminded. Nonsense. I know it's enough, but money is saved bit by bit. Young people are really extravagant and wasteful. They don't even know how to save. Master, who is that person? Chen Xiaowan didn't want to hear the old man's chatter and wanted to shift the topic. He. A little bastard. The two slowly walked out of the hall, as it was scorching sun outside. Cao Xiang himself was just a newcomer trainer a long time ago, originally ordinary and unremarkable. However, decades ago, a very mysterious organization emerged in the international community out of thin air. This organization is very strange, and no one knows what they do or what their purpose is. But more than a decade ago, this organization suddenly suffered a huge blow, and the entire organization fell apart. Starting to resort to all means for various purposes, some members of the organization even began to commit illegal crimes, as if their ambitions were suddenly exposed, and the entire organization was in chaos. At this time, Cao Xiang alone successfully persuaded those members of the organization with ulterior motives to surrender, and saved the entire organization with his own efforts. Oh! Is this person's political ability so strong? Chen Xiaowan exclaimed. He has incredible political power. He goes door to door searching for rebel members of the organization, fighting from top to bottom, and even picking out field battles. Zhou Duong said with a hint of anger and admiration. In the end, the organization slowly regrouped as a result. I thought this matter would slowly pass and the organization would have a breathing space to rest and recover, but who would have thought this thug would come knocking on me again and provoke me in public? Speaking of which, Zhou Duong touched the bald head that could make people blind, which attracted Qin Xiaozhuan's constant glances. Finally, the organization selected the 2 best players to teach him a lesson and also asked him to join the organization. It's considered a success. Success. Did he agree? Qin Xiaowan was surprised. He beat the entire team again until the organization agreed to let him sit as the leader of the organization. Since then, after various setbacks, this organization has finally arrived at a time of peace, and its name has been officially named Rocket Team. It's also a legend. The old man looked up and sighed, but his gaze collided with that of the young girl. It's impolite of you to look at me like this, you know. Zhou Duong stared at Qin Xiaowan with a dead gaze. Qin Xiaowan blushed slightly and said casually, "Is there any way? You can't blame me for this kind of thing. Master, you're too eye-catching. You're so rude. Do you really respect the self-esteem of my master? And didn't you come over today wearing a super short skirt? Why are you wearing this long skirt? I feel heartbroken. I need the comfort of a beautiful girl." After speaking, Zhou Duong stretched out his hands to Qin Xiaowan with tears in his eyes, as if seeking a hug. Pop. Qin Xiaowan mercilessly knocked off her 2 outstretched hands and said with a disdainful expression, "Master, do you only allow others to read and not allow me to read? Moreover, the preface and postscript have nothing to do with it. You, as a master, are a bit disrespectful." In the middle of the night, the fire-spotted meow raised its head to look at the moon, as if it had something on its mind. Can't you sleep? Cao Wei also woke up and rubbed his eyes. Go to sleep. Tomorrow I will draft a new training plan and work hard. After that, I reached out and hugged the fire-spotted meow to sleep. Meow. The fire-spotted meow didn't break free and gently closed its eyes. Chapter 10. Firefighters in the Elf World. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. First, you can't go to school hungry. Meow 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 meow. Secondly, when the weather is good, you should sun the quilt. Meow 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 meow. Thirdly, when crossing the road, pay attention to the traffic. Meow, meow, meow. All TM is a tribute. JPG. Early this morning, Cao Wei came out to train with the reluctant fire-spotted meow. While warming up and running, he shouted some strange words. Fourth, never rely on others' power. Why didn't there be a response? Cao Wei turned around and found that the fire-spotted meow had already found a cool place, spread a set of small blankets that he took out from somewhere, and began to sleep. Sigh, if you don't train after eating so much, you will gain weight. That's right, the fire-spotted meow is exceptionally edible. The box of tree fruits sent along with the elf egg has been eaten up in just 2 days, and Cao Wei didn't even recognize the appearance of those tree fruits. I don't know what kind of impact it will have on your body after eating those things. Cao Wei was a bit worried, but then he thought to himself, if there is any further impact, it will also be a tree fruit. Eating the most will cause diarrhea, so there shouldn't be any major problems. Right. Although the tree fruit is gone, according to the principle of conservation of mass, the slender shape of the fire-spotted meow is also gone, and its body size has noticeably increased by a whole circle. Kid, that was a very good sentence just now. An old man with a beard walked over from the side, but training Pokémon requires skills, and it's not just about shouting slogans. Uncle, who are you? Have we met somewhere before? Cao Wei looked at the uncle in front of him and felt very familiar. My name is Wang Gang, and I am the fire captain of J City next door. Are you from the neighboring city? But last time you came to my house to put out a fire, I saw your words. Cao Wei said in confusion. Oh. Then you must have met my other brothers. Uncle with a proud expression on his face. Brother. Cao Wei was puzzled, but he immediately thought of a possibility. Wait a minute, since this is the world of Pokémon, the firefighters mean, that's right. You must have seen my third cousin in this city, and I'm the captain of the fire brigade living in the neighboring city of J, said Uncle with a self-proclaimed handsome posture. Well, Uncle, you won't. There are other brothers and sisters working as firefighters in some other cities. Cao Wei's mouth twitched slightly. Oh, you. Young man, you're really smart. But you're wrong. You're the fire captain. Our family has garrisons all over the country. Maintaining public safety in times of peace is our honor. Come on. Let me show you our group photo, said the bearded man as he pulled out a photo from somewhere. A photo of dozens of identical bearded uncles gathered together, transmission transfer. Although I have some psychological preparation, when I actually encounter it, I still feel a bit creepy. Cao Wei said in a cold sweat. So. Aren't you the fire captain from J City next door? How did you get here? Cao Wei puzzled. Oh, it's my turn to take a day off today. By the way, I heard that there is a little boy in the neighboring city who risked his life to save his Pokémon and broke into the fire, so I came by to take a look. The uncle looked at Cao Wei with admiration on his face. Kid, you are very good. You are very brave in what you do, and what you say is very pleasing to my taste. Are you interested in working under me after graduation? The uncle smiled and had a good impression of Cao Wei. I don't have any plans to become a firefighter at the moment, and it shouldn't be appropriate for you to have a trainer who uses the fire attribute Pokémon become a firefighter, right? Cao Wei refused the proposal of Uncle Beard. There's no need to rush to refuse, anyway there's still a long way to go before graduation, you can consider it slowly. Wang Gang rubbed his hands and said. No, I really don't have any plans to become a firefighter. In the few days he arrived in this world, Cao Wei had already realized the value of force in this world. Joking, if a person who can fend off a swarm of large needle bees with bare hands gets trapped, what can I do if I go? So Cao Wei quickly dispelled the idea of becoming an official in this world. Are you really not considering it anymore? Wang Gang still hesitated. I really can't do it, I'm not that material. Cao Wei pushed back. Okay. It's a pity. Wang Gang looked a bit disappointed. So. Fire Uncle, what was the training method you just mentioned? Cao Wei felt a bit awkward and changed the topic. Ah. What? What training method? How come I don't know? Upon hearing that Cao Wei had no intention of joining the fire brigade, Uncle with a beard immediately changed his mind and pulled his face, digging his nose beside him. Cao Wei. Uncle, you're a bit realistic. Cao Wei had no choice but to summon the already snoring fire-spotted Meow to continue training, but Wang Gang stopped them both. Wait a moment, I have one more thing to do. Cao Wei shook his head with a smile and said, Uncle, I'm not that kind of person. At least I'm not the same person now. You should try a different person. No, listen to me. Uncle, I really can't do it. I can't do this job. Cao Wei didn't look back. Hey, don't leave until I finish speaking. No, Uncle, it's really not possible. I asked you to train with me. Wang Gang quickly shouted as he saw that there was room for speech. Ah. Omega, ahem. Wang Gangqin coughed twice and said, since you are so pleading with me for special training, I will reluctantly teach you. No, I didn't beg you. Sigh, there's nothing I can do. Since that's the case, I'll recognize you as my disciple, and from today on, you're going to call me Coach. Cao Wei looked at Wang Gang, who was directing and acting on the side, and suddenly had an idea in his heart. It feels like this uncle seems a bit unreliable. Despite the ups and downs, the training for Cao Wei and Fire-Spotted Meow has finally officially begun, and what will happen with the addition of Fire Captain Wang Gang. To be continued in the next episode.